What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm going to be bringing you the finals of the most recent store championships that we had here in Colorado. This is going to be between two different Imperial decks. On the right, we're going to be having the old tried and true blue-green Imperialdramon, and then on the left, we'll be having the new red-purple Imperialdramon that is coming out from the EX3 set. Now, this will be the first time I've seen these two decks match off in tournament, but in testing, I do know that the blue-green Imperial can have a little bit of an edge just because you have way more aggression. The red-purple Imperial can take a little bit time to set up and get all the things that they need in trash, so the blue-green Imperial can really take advantage of that by just getting aggressive early with that jamming. And on top of that, you do have access to Megadeth, which is just really strong spot removal that we are going to be missing from the red-purple Imperial side, so having them go up into their big stack and then just being able to Megadeth it away is going to be something that is really just one-sided for the blue-green Imperial, since they're not really going to see that happen that often on the other side. But getting on into the match, the early turns are going to be a little bit slow. We just see the red-purple Imperial developing some rookies, getting some cycle in, and then on the blue-green Imperial side, you are going to see them just get that XVmon in the back, which is nice because you are having a rookie on the board. So even if you have minimal memory, you would be able to go up into a Stingmon, and that Wormmon's going to swing into the Davisken, so it does put the opponent at 2, meaning that if they have the Stingmon, they could promote Digivolve up into the Stingmon for 2, and then be able to DNA Digivolve up, but we're going to see them swing over the Wormmon to go up into the Magnamon. Tapped the Davisken right there, even though Magnamon unsuspends, so I don't think that really matters. And actually now it does kind of matter because the Magnamon should be unsuspended right there, but since there's nothing on the board for the red-purple Imperial player besides the missed memory boost, I don't think the Magnamon X is actually in trouble of being deleted at all, so I guess it doesn't entirely matter, but was a little bit of a weird misstep there with the Davisken. But now with the Magnamon X out there and the XVmon in the back, you are starting to get in a pretty dominant spot. We can play out this Vmon, which will allow you to trash one Imperialdramon or free to be able to draw 2 cards. So pitching off the fighter mode, not exactly sure what they are searching for here, but I assume they're going to want to start to put something in the raising. I see the Wormmon and the Labramon in hand, so either one could go in raising to start to build up, but popping the missed memory boost to go to 3, and again searching here, so hit double Flamedramon and the Dino Bee. Interested which one they are going to take. Takes the Flamedramon and trashes the Flamedramon, so showing there that they probably already have the ultimates in hand to be able to DNA up, and just keeping that Flamedramon in there so that way you could Digivolve up with the Shadramon and put the Flamedramon on there. But double Flamedramon hit is a little bit weird because you'd prefer the Shadramon and the Flamedramon, but still have the Shadramon. Digivolve up so that way we can go into the Flamedramon Digivolve and now DNA into the Dino Bee. And interestingly enough, despite having the Labramon in hand, they did not Digivolve in raising, so don't know if that was just a mistake or if there was a purpose to that. But now Digivolving all the way up into the Dragon mode, swinging with Blitz, and is going to go into the fighter mode, so going to be able to swing 2 checks, no security options, but we are just going to block with the Magnamon X, or the redirect. That's going to be able to put Magnamon X back on top, get a nice little recover, but also just make it so your opponent doesn't get any checks. They did just use their ability to stop security checks with that Dragon mode, so if the fighter mode does stay on board, then they will have to worry about swinging into things like Tamers, Hammer Sparks, Megadeth, anything like that. But you could potentially Megadeth here. We are going to see the Stingmon instead, so that's looking like a DNA Digivolve up. And this is going to be a lot of aggression. You're going to be able to essentially swing 3 checks if nothing gets deleted here. Swing unsuspend, probably swing with the Magna next over. Ooh, actually just revealed the HPD, so if you have Dragon mode and you have another Pyildramon, this is pretty much just game. Gonna go swing with Pyildramon and then use the Magnandramon to suspend it and go for the HPD. You can use Davisken to unsuspend, and Magna can die to the Deathclaw anyway, so it's fine, but just not even using the Davisken right there, I think that was a little bit of a mistake. That is probably just the player knowing most of their opponent's deck prior to the match and knowing that there's not going to be much that can take you down in security with jamming, so didn't really matter. But if you did unsuspend with the Dragon mode with the Davisken, you were pretty much guaranteed to win there with that Pyildramon, so getting on into game 2, we are going to be having blue-green Imperial go first, and we see a couple of VMons come out, and the red-purple Imperial coming out with its own VMon to be able to draw to get that Shaydramon in the back, and then going with the analog, so not really putting rookies in the back. We saw them skip it last time as well. I do believe I see a VMon in hand, so choosing to just use them for cycle more so than building in the back. And if you're really missing a lot of your key pieces, then it is going to make more sense to be able to get that extra cycle. Digivolving and raising only gives you 1 draw, playing the VMon gives you 2 draws and gets you one of your pieces in trash, but still definitely need to be starting to build up in back. You want to be getting something in there so that way you can stick a rookie on board, go for the Shaydra into Flamedra, be able to start DNA all the way up into the fighter mode essentially. So you need something in back, but Miss Memory Boost is going to hit another VMon, putting that one in the back for sure, so that way we can start to build something up. And now they're in a really weird situation because you want this VMon to stay on the board because you want to have another target to put one of your Flamedramon or Shaydramons on top of, but you also threaten to get bottom decked by Imperialdramon on the other end. They do have XVmon in the back and a blue memory boost, so being able to promote swing, pop memory boost, and go for a Stingmon to be able to DNA up would get rid of that rookie, and it will slow them down a little bit, but if it does stay on the board, you will be in a pretty good spot. They did decide to go with the Shaydramon in the back, so not going to be able to get the Wind Digivolving effect, but I do believe I saw a Flamedramon in hand, so you can just naturally Digivolve it anyway. One thing to note is the blue-green Imperial player did grab the Imperialdramon off that VMon, so maybe they aren't missing the Stingmon and instead we're missing the Imperialdramon, but they could also be missing the Stingmon and just grabbed a second Imperialdramon so that way they can be sure to have it for later. But regardless, if that was the piece that they were missing, then with that blue memory boost, they are pretty much guaranteed to be able to go in. And yes, you're at 4 security, which should feel like a lot, but versus Imperial, it's really not that much, especially when there's another rookie that's already stuck on board that could be a good HPD target. But we have promoted, we've Digivolved up into the Flamedramon, so I'd assume we got to be doing some sort of DNA Digivolving here. I do see a Imperialdramon at least in hand, but I'm not sure if there's a Dino Bee in the trash. You DNA Digivolve up here, and not having the Dino Bee could be a little bit annoying, and it doesn't look like they have it. So still just DNA Digivolving up, getting something a little bit safer on the board because you're not going to be able to get bottom decked by Imperialdramon with your own Imperialdramon, and you could just go up into the Dragon mode if you want to anyway. The Imperialdramon does give you security attack +1, so you can just develop a pretty big threat. But to go back to something I mentioned at the beginning of the match is Megadeth is very much live. You can build up into a Dragon mode, but when you get Megadeth, it's gonna hurt really bad because you don't have anything else besides analog on the board right now. And sure, they don't have a green source, but with a blue memory boost and a rookie on board, it is much easier for them to be able to get a green source on board to be able to get that Megadeth going. If you're gonna clear your only stack, it really doesn't matter how much memory you give your opponent. So even if they give them 5 and get rid of the Dragon mode on board, they'll just be so far behind on board that the 4 memory won't matter as much, and then the blue-green Imperial player is gonna have a pretty good opportunity to get in and go aggressive. So missing the Dino Bee is pretty big here. I do think it's going to put you back quite a bit. So promoting and swinging in, so this does mean that they are most likely going in right now. Going to be able to hit that Night Ray that's going to be able to play out the Labramon, but Stingmon comes out comes Imperialdramon and bottom decks the Labramon as soon as it comes out, and then going to be able to swing, unsuspend, first check, Death Xmon, we have jamming, so we are all good, and we're going to think about if we want to swing again. I don't really think there's too much that's going to be able to stop you from really keeping your Digimon on board if you do swing in with the Imperialdramon right here. You hit the tie, but now I guess that is a little bit scary. Now you're a little bit in kind of need Megadeth mode. Gonna swing the VMon, goes down to the Labramon, pop the boost. So going to 2, that feels Megadeth-y. That is a Megadeth. That's going to bounce it back to hand. And now the red-purple Imperial with nothing on board, no security, and still a blue-green Imperial on board. So I did do a little bit of cut there because there was a lot more thinking going on than what is shown on the video, but they do eventually end up scooping. You can see the hand right there. Nothing you can really do there to stop the Imperialdramon, and even if you were able to clear the Imperialdramon on the board with no security and your opponent still having 4, it was going to be fairly easy for them to be able to get something on board to be able to go in for games. So in the battle of Imperial, blue-green Imperial is going to come out 2-0 on top this time in the finals of the Store Championships. But if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe for some more Digimon TCG content, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I will catch you next time. Peace out.